I'm filming myself, yes.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm glad you think it's cool. Taking on the opportunity that YouTube just paid me for the first time ever. This video will be about how much money do I make on YouTube. And since I'm talking about YouTube and money and ads, I'm also going to be talking about this whole ad stuff issue that is happening on YouTube. Now, if you haven't heard or haven't noticed anything about any YouTube ad problem and have no idea what I'm talking about, let me try to quickly explain. Basically, the mainstream media realized that people believe in fake news and decided to use fake news to drive advertisers out of advertising on YouTube because it's dangerous for your brand or something. And lots of advertisers started boycotting YouTube, which made YouTube create tools for the advertisers so they can choose not to advertise on videos that are deemed controversial or they have profanity or anything that people these days that get offended very easily find offensive. And while that didn't stop people to make bizarre, weird, completely inappropriate videos dressed up as Elsa and Disney characters and showing up on YouTube Kids, that is affecting some of my favorite YouTubers, including Ethan and Ela from H3H3 Productions, and even others who just talk about the news without being really controversial themselves, like Philip DeFranco. And also, if you haven't noticed, I just had a haircut during my lunchtime, and that's why I've been walking a lot, but now I'm back here at work. So let's continue this conversation afterwards. Anyway, back to what I said I'm gonna talk about in the title of this video, which is how much I make on YouTube. I finally got paid by YouTube. And it's not that I just recently monetized my videos. No, my videos have been monetized for a few years now. But for YouTube to pay Australians, there's a threshold, a minimum amount of money that they're gonna send. And unless you reach that amount, they're not gonna send you anything. Now that I finally got paid, I wanna share with you how much I got paid and for how many views exactly. But first, I have a doctor's appointment and I'm running a little bit late for it. And also it's a bit hard to do while I'm on the move. I wanna show you some stats and something, so doctor's appointment first. Doctor's appointment is over, I'm back at home. Now I can talk about this. I have my computer in front of me, so I'm gonna be looking at some stats and discussing it with you. As I said, YouTube paid me for the first time, and it wasn't a check, they just transferred straight to my account. It was $103.04. This is for all the videos I have monetized over, I don't know for how long I have been monetizing my videos, but let's say 4 years probably. Now what does that mean? How many views did I have to get that? Or as YouTube counts these days, watch time. I think watch time is more important than views. Let's see. Okay, this includes toilet talk videos as well. So in this graph, I just have my views and also watch time for the last, since 2012, January 2012. 136,000 views and 274,000 minutes in watch time, except that before September 2012, YouTube didn't count watch time. However, we need to remove some views from videos that are not monetized because they have copyrighted content. So let me fix this. After creating a group and adding all the non monetized videos to that group, I ended up having stats of 46,674 views that are not monetized and 46,810 minutes that are not monetized. That doesn't mean that all the other views and all the other minutes were monetized. It just means that they had the potential of being monetized. If ads run on them, I don't know. Not all videos that are monetized actually run ads. It depends on how many ads people are paying to run and how many playbacks there are. And I think some stats that I read a few months ago, it was like that half of the playbacks had an ad playing, the other half didn't have an ad playing because there was not enough people advertising on them. Not sure if that's still true or if that was ever true. So if we do the maths and subtract the watch time of non-monetized videos from all the watch time of all the videos, we get 227,728 minutes that could potentially be monetized. And if we do the same thing for views, we get 89,539 views that could potentially be monetized. Now, to understand these numbers a bit better, I made a spreadsheet, a terrible spreadsheet that you can see on the bottom of this video right now. I have the money, $103.04, the views, the watch time. Dividing the money by the views, you get how much you make per 1,000 views, which is $1.15 per 1,000 views, and how much I make per 1,000 minutes of watch time, which is 45 cents. And then on the right, there's the average salary of a software engineer in Sydney, $85,000 per year. To get the same amount of money of the average salary of a software engineer, I would need 73 million views or 187 million minutes of watch time in 1 year. Remember, the watch time and the views is my entire last 5 years on YouTube. I would need that per year. So if I make a video every day, 365 divided 73 divided, let me update the spreadsheet. I would need 202,000 views per video to make what an average software engineer makes in Sydney. So there you go. There's a lot of hope. Now keep in mind that probably, depending on your content, as you get bigger, there's a chance that you're gonna get more advertising in your videos. I don't know, this is for me. These are the numbers for my channel. Other people's channels are probably different. It all depends on the content people make and depends on, I don't know what it depends. YouTube is like black magic. No one knows. I don't think even YouTube knows. And that's the other thing I wanted to talk about as well, is that some YouTubers, as I mentioned, Ethan and Hila from H3H3 Productions, and not just them, but others have been complaining. The main complaint, there's lots of complaint, but the main story is the mainstream media realized that people believe in fake news. So they decided to, have a go on YouTube because, of course, no one wants to advertise with newspapers and magazines and all that, like, that's dying pretty much. YouTube has a lot of advertising money, even compared to big news media sites like New York Times or CNN or whatever. And they also realize that they are not as relevant anymore, so they go and have a go on YouTube. So what happened is lots of advertisers canceled advertising on YouTube, and then YouTube, of course, reacted. YouTube doesn't want to lose money. In fact, YouTube doesn't make money. I don't know if you know this, but YouTube doesn't make a profit. Where did I see that? I was researching about YouTube the other day. Yeah, YouTube, if you search, if you find out YouTube doesn't make a profit, it barely breaks even. The money they make is not enough to pay for all the operating costs. If you run for everything else at Google, YouTube probably wouldn't exist today. So it's not surprising that if a few advertisers decide to cancel advertising on YouTube, they will freak out and do things to prevent that from happening. So now there's this flagging of videos based on if they are mature content, if there's profanity, if there's anything that might not be advertising friendly. Even though when I go and watch a video and then an advertising pops up, I don't immediately think that this advertiser is now agreeing with everything that is going to be in the video. Only stupid people think that. No one with a brain that works properly thinks that. But for some reason, people freak out. Whatever. Advertisers get really afraid. So YouTube now allegedly have this system where advertisers can now select, I don't want my videos to appear near political videos or religious videos or videos that have profanity or videos that are not friendly to whatever. Which means that some people who make videos that might have some profanity, and by the way, H3H3 Productions is not like they might have some profanity, they have profanity, and they are not child friendly and they are not family friendly. It's not the kind of thing you're gonna watch with your kids in the living room. But in the recent video where the thumbnail says we're quitting YouTube or something, or buy YouTube, they are saying that they barely make 20% of what they used to make in the past with the other videos since YouTube changed, which for someone like them who make a living from YouTube it's a big deal. So this is a problem that is affecting some YouTubers. I wonder if this affected me at all. Do I need another graph for the last 90 days? Now, just a disclaimer, I don't have enough views and enough videos to make this an reliable statistical data. This only applies for my channel, and I don't even know if it applies. I don't even know how I can interpret this properly, because there's not enough data. But if you look in the last 90 days, watch time compared to revenue, in the last 90 days doesn't seem like there's any major change in revenue when you compare them to watch time. Now let's see with views. Same thing, doesn't seem to have affected. I mean, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. But then again, it's probably because there were not many views. As I said, it's not very obvious. I think that answers the question of how much money I make in comparison to views and all that kind of stuff, which I think is interesting. And I think hopefully that was helpful to you if you have questions and if you wanted to know. Now remember, as I said, each channel is different. Each video is different. Different content will generate different ads. What is funny though, I just remember now, I was looking at this earlier. But let's look at my revenue in the last 90 days. Now, if you look at the video on the top that has the most watch time, is my do-it-yourself YouTube play button reward, and it has 27% of all my watch time in the last 90 days. But interestingly enough, the revenue from that video is only 11% of all the revenue in the last 90 days. But then if you look at my video, how to be PewDiePie, you would assume because it has PewDiePie in the title and there's swearing in it, I act like PewDiePie, which is not very popular character recently, I would say. That video has 2.4% of all the watch time in my channel, but it has 3.1% of the revenue. And what that means is that in relation to the watch time, it is making more money than the YouTube play button reward that has no profanity, that has no relation to PewDiePie whatsoever. Maybe I need to make more videos like that, you know, with that kind of content. Anyway, it's 11:15. I need to go buy milk before the supermarket closes. So this is it for our analysis of how much money I make on YouTube. I would take you to the supermarket, but you know, it's that kind of boring. You've seen it so many times. It's just a supermarket and I'm gonna go get milk and get out and come back and that's it. So you rock. Thank you. You guys are awesome. Subscribe, like, click the little bell thingy. You know, you know what I'm talking about. My favorite comment from the weird fan mail strikes again is from Dan, where he says, "Oh Carlos, you sold me your soul a long time ago. Thanks for letting me know finally, because I had no idea, but I guess now I know."